Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizon. I'm Ted Simons. The U.S. Labor Department is reporting that the Trump administration's mass deportation efforts could cause an uptick in food prices. For more on this, we welcome Hitendra Chaturvedi. He's from ASU's W.P. Carey School of Business, and we always look forward to having you on the program. I love these conversations that we have. This is the U.S. Labor Department. This is the federal government, which seems to be aligned with a certain, kind of thinking. Even this department is saying, watch out for higher food prices. What say you?
So let me put some numbers in front of you, which will make it extremely clear. 40% of our ag worker is foreign-born. Of the 40%, another 40% is unwilling or unable to come to the farm. They're scared. They don't want to come. That's about 16 out of every 100 worker who are unwilling to come to the field. That doesn't mean all of them are undocumented or on H-2A. Now, what does that translate into production? Again, the department's numbers, 16% translates to about 7% reduction in production. 7%.
Yeah.
That 7% translates into 10% food price hike. We are already seeing about 4-5% food price hike per year. So we are only at the middle of it. It still needs to go up.
Are we seeing a little bit of that already or a lot of that already? And I obviously, you're talking about things ramping up, but I mean ramping up with this particular accelerator.
We are already at the halfway point. If you are looking at the numbers today, we are seeing prices increase in grocery by about 0.4 to 0.5% every month, which means we are already touching about 5% a year. And with this shortage, you're talking about 10%.
So fewer ag workers due to the immigration crackdown. This is a major factor, kind of a major factor, not much of a factor.
It is a major factor. It is the scare that we have with the workers who don't want to go work over there. Even folks who have legitimate legal visas are scared to go and work.
Department of Labor in this report said, this is a quote, "Without swift action, agricultural employers will be unable to maintain operations."
That is absolutely correct. The agriculture sector is already seeing about 30% price increase in terms of hiring some labor that is not foreign-born worker, and it is going to go up.
I want to get to that in a second here, but one last thing. The report said that the nation's food supply could be at risk. I mean, this is pretty strong stuff here.
If you are going to look at 10% price increase every year, and it could potentially get worse, and we have some tariffs on import of agricultural food items from other countries, we are going to have a huge supply constraint.
Now, you mentioned workers. The report says that legal residents are not here's a big surprise, legal residents aren't likely to take some of these demanding farm jobs and filled by immigrant labor. So the department is pushing for a change to the H-2A visa program. Does that program need to be changed to get more folks here who aren't afraid to hit the fields?
I believe it has to be a two-pronged strategy. One, a clear message has to be sent out that folks who are on H-2A visa are not going to be threatened. They are, the baby's being thrown out with the bathwater. That is what the problem is. So at this moment, there is no clear message. And the other ones who are undocumented, who are about 25% of the workforce, are automatically not coming.
Yeah, and they were paid at certain rates between 4 and 24% less than those with visa programs and this sort of thing. Again, the department is recommending the change to the visa program means farmers paying less for these visa workers because they were paying less for the undocumented folks, and the undocumented folks aren't there. Does that make sense to you?
That is, you're going to get a lot of pushback from people who are legally documented working over here. You cannot pay that low rates. It was not only the low rates, their housing was poor, sanitation was poor, transportation was not provided. So I don't think so that's a sustainable practice.
And you mentioned housing, that farmers could pay even less if housing was provided.
I hope they can pull it off. It's going to be a hard sell.
All right. So you're saying that prices are increasing. They're going to continue. Are they going to spike, or are they just going to go up a little stair-steppy stuff here?
I worry if we do not make some firm decisions on this one, this could become a perfect storm. With prices increasing, with supply being constrained, with import tariffs, and with the buying power reducing. So over the last 5 years, Ted, the price of grocery has increased by 26%, and we are seeing another 10% over the next year. And the nominal wage has increased by only 15%. You have people who are using buy now, pay later to buy groceries.
Yeah.
That's a perfect storm.
Last question. You have the president's ear, you have the Commerce Department's ear, you have the Labor Department's ear, you have the ear of farmers, the entire industry. What do you tell them?
I tell them that this is not a political problem. This is a systemic problem. Policy and labor are intertwined. They are not separate. Let's look at this as a supply chain systemic problem and find a solution to it.
Real quickly, what changes if you look at it in that direction?
If you look at it, then you make systemic changes from the labor all the way to warehousing, all the way to supply, all the way to tariff for the benefit of the American consumer.
Wow, that's a lot of connections there. You know, a lot of agreement, a lot of cooperation.
That's the reason it's called supply chain.
All right. Hitendra Chaturvedi again, W.P. Carey School of Business. Always a pleasure, sir. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.